All right, we're going to do a little video here about discovery keywords for fence contractors. Now, discovery keywords are the words that new customers will find you by. And if that is of interest to you, I hope you'll hang on and watch this video at least part of the way to the end. I'm going to go over a lot of contractor websites and hopefully give you some ideas of how to build relevant traffic to your website that will make your phone ring. If that interests you, I hope you'll hit the like button down in the corner and or the subscribe button, because I do videos like this several times a month. I won't say I do them every day, but that I do try to put out some relevant content. All right. That said, my name is Bob Rutledge. You can see my contact information down in the lower right-hand corner of the video. And if you need or have any questions about internet marketing, I hope you'll give me a call. I've been doing this for quite some time. Started my first websites out in 2000. Well, I was looking on the Wayback Machine, found one from 2008. I'll have to do a video on that one time. All right, let's escape this right here. And let me see if I can get out of it now that I'm here. I want to bring up the website now. How do I do that? Trying to do this as a one-shot video that usually. So here, all right, so we're going to talk about fencing contractors and what they can do to improve their websites and be found for relevant keywords. And in this particular case, I'm going over some Houston websites. This particular website here, National Fence Company, this is a very old website. They need to 2014 wouldn't I believe it. It's time, folks, to update your website. You need to get a secure website. People verify your credentials by coming to your website. It's just one of many ways, but they do include your website in that. You got Google My Business, you've got your Google rate reviews, you've got your website. They're going to check you out on all three. All right, so the traffic coming to this particular website, they're obviously getting some traffic from National Fence and National Fence Company, which is their brand name. I don't know whether that's a chain or what, but they're not getting, they must have an employee named DeLong there. And so that person's getting, they're in the 79th position, so they're not raking it in exactly. Really, basically, this company's not getting any benefit from being on the internet. Their website's completely out of date. You can see how back in May they were getting zero traffic. They get some traffic now, but it's nothing to write home about. So really, folks, you just need to update this website. You do have some things right. And one thing being right is the title tag. You'll see the city name in the title tag. Probably what I would do is retitle this as National Fence Company, Houston, Texas, because that is their legitimate address. And they're just not going to come up for a lot of other places like that. But you want to have landing pages and things like that for your service areas. At least they do have a service area, but boy, that is sad. I mean, this is just so far out of date. It's sad. All right, so need to get rid of that, folks. Let's go take a look at an up-to-date website. I'm very happy with this website. It's a good-looking website, got a great-looking logo, a unique name, Texas Fence. I'd love to have that as my brand name. And but let's see what it's coming up for. So their title tag is Residential Fence Company. It's not going to cut it. The title tag, if you will get nothing out of this information here, you need to have, I know that you're in the metropolitan Houston area in this particular case, and probably in Houston. Yes, they are. But these people might have a fighting chance of duking it out for Houston Fence Contractor, things like that. But to get discovered, you need to be found for search terms above and beyond your fence name, Texas Fence Company. Well, I happen to know that there are a lot of companies that have the word Texas and fence in their names. And so you need to find, Fence, Texas, Houston, Texas. They're number one for that. There you go. So they're probably getting some very good traffic from that would make the phone ring. Again, discovery keywords are the keywords that make your phone ring. They are people who don't have a brand in particular. They don't know the difference between Joe's fence company and Adam's fence company. And so they're just looking for a fence contractor. It's going to be geo-targeted to their area. Either they're actually going to type in the word Katy, or they're going to be in Katy or Spring or wherever, and their phone is it's going to ping off of cell towers near their area, and that's what's going to get shown as the service contractors in their area. And so you've got to have something in your title tag to give Google an idea of where to work. So let's keep working through a few of these. So Wright Fence Company is another contractor in that area. And you can see from their service area over here, it looks like they go almost all the way up to College Station, all the way down to Pasadena, Texas. That's a pretty big area. Great reviews. And let's check out the website. When I roll over the title tag, Wright Fence Company, not good at all. When you scroll down the page, get a free estimate. Everybody wants, that's cool. Pop-ups are not a good thing to have on your website anymore. Pardon my hoarseness right now. And they are in Spring, Texas. Their title tag needs to be Spring, Texas Fence Contractor, Wright Fence Company. It's not that hard. You want to be found for Spring, Texas Fence Contractor. And their traffic is increasing, as you can see here. Let's see where it's coming from. Wright Fence Company, they may be doing something to build their brand, and people are looking up their brand name. But your brand name should be the number one thing you come up for. That's why it's helpful to have a very distinct brand name. Wright Fence Company. I lived in Atlanta at one time, and we had Fido fences for Fido. That's what it was. I thought it was pretty cool. And but you're not seeing them come up. Let's take a deeper look for Spring, Texas Fence Contractor. No, Cedar versus Pine. Here you go. Fence Contractor, Spring, Texas. But even then, they're in the number 10 position. I'm telling you, the one thing they can do to change that is change that title tag to say Spring, Texas Fence Company, or Wright Fence Company, Spring, Texas. It's got to be in that H1 tag. So let's go to the next guy. Here's another contractor. It's in the Spring, Texas area, and he's actually incorporated Spring into his fence contracting name, Klein Fence Company, Spring Klein Fence Company. And need to work on their ratings. Cannot tell you how much people will go and look at that rating and then continue on their merry way. But when you go to this contractor's fence website, you see Fence Contractors, Sugarland, Katy, and Gates and Fences, Spring, Texas. You need to choose one. Sugarland's on the south side, if I remember right. Katy's on the west side, and Spring is way up on the north. Google is not going to give you that, in spite of the fact that you may be servicing the entire area. Now, if I could find their site map, maybe I could find that they've got other landing pages that I'm just not finding right this moment. But in general, if your website is called Spring Fence, you need to concentrate on your home area and do landing pages, which is what I specialize in. I specialize on doing landing pages that convert for the other areas that you do work in. So if you want to get your organic, quote unquote, free traffic from Spring, Texas, but if you're going to advertise, but if you want to do business in Katy, if you want to do business in Houston, which is a pretty big apple to bite off, but if you want to do business in some of these other markets, you do your pay-per-click for that. You do your Google My Business. You do some promotions on there, but you do not muck up the waters. You pick one of these. You just cannot be listed on all three of these towns in this day and age. So since this contractor is literally in Spring, Texas, if they will just change their site tag to say Fencing Contractors, Spring, Texas, they will do a lot, or Klein Fencing Contractor, Spring, Texas, they'll do a lot better on the organic searches. They'll get a lot more traffic. Now, I hope I know what I'm talking about here, because when I look up Spring, Texas, let me see if I did some research here. Spring, Texas is an unincorporated census designated area, 60,000 people, 70,000 population. So let's say there's 30,000 houses there. Let's say that there are 10,000 fences. Well, in 10,000 fences, you're going to be replacing 500 to 1,000 of them every year. And so that should be a pretty good base for your business. If you just got a major portion of the Spring, Texas and surrounding area fence business, fence repairs, especially after storm. And you can see right now that weather in Dallas, Texas and Spring, Texas right now is 20 degrees. They're having a bad storm up there, so keep them in your prayers. And, if you want to advertise over in Katy or down in Sugar Land, Pasadena, the Woodlands, you've got to set up separate landing pages for that and run Google pay-per-click advertising. And a secret is Bing pay-per-click advertising. People do a lot of research for fences on their notebook computers. I don't think anybody has a true desktop anymore. But when they do that at home, they're using their Windows computer, and their Windows computer comes with Bing installed on it as a search engine through their proprietary browser. I don't use it, so I can't even remember the name. It starts with an E. And so they're going to search on Bing is the point. And you'll find that some very low cost pay-per-click, about a third of the cost. It's a third of the traffic as well, but it's a third of the cost per click even over on Bing is what I find typically. So you need to be doing advertising in both places to live. Is Spring, Texas a good area? So I'm just saying, if you want to come up for Spring, Texas, so Spring Klein Fence Company is their number one source of traffic, 50%. But Spring Fence Company, that's a good one. And they're number one for that. Woodgates, Spring, Texas, they're pretty high. Fence Contractor, Spring, Texas. Now that is the pure definition of a discovery keyword. A person's looking for a fencing contractor in Spring, Texas. They are not looking for Klein. They're not looking for the right company. They're not looking for anyone else. They don't have a preference. And you want to show up for those discovery keywords as opposed to branded keywords, as opposed to your company's brand name. So let me say a brand name. So your company name, Klein Fence, is what you ought to be coming up for easily. But there are brands of materials or brands. I do a lot of heating and air contractors. And so if you were a Train dealer, you'd want to come up for Train. If you were a Carrier, you'd want to come up for Carrier. That's what I'm talking about, branded traffic. So anytime you could come up for branded traffic in your area, the fencing business really doesn't have a lot of that. We saw one a minute ago where someone had been building some hardy plank fences, which that was pretty interesting to me. All right, this next website we're looking at here is Katy Fence Repair. They've got it nailed. I can already tell these people are going to get some discovery keyword searches that are going to make their phone ring. First of all, it's an attractive website. It's not overly expensive, I can promise you, but it looks to me like one that would work on smartphones as well as desktops. It's not stolen from 2014. And so people look up Katy Fence Repair as a great title. They offer financing. That's another great thing to offer. And love the way this website's laid out, got some good pictures of their work. And down here at the bottom, lo and behold, they are located on Katy Freeway in Katy, Texas. So all of those things are helpful, and I can assure you these people are coming up well in the Google Maps section. But for the search, they're coming up for search repair, fence repair, the 12th position in the country, which is good, but Katy fence repair even more. Number one, told you before I even got here. Wood fence repair, Katy, Texas, number one. Fence replacement, Katy, Texas. You know, these people are probably not doing a lot of pay-per-click advertising. Let's see if it shows. If it shows anything. Well, no, down there, that's not always a true indicator, but they're showing zero paid traffic. So there you go. And 400 total visitors per month is very good for a small company to get. I don't know where this big peak of interest came from back a few weeks ago, back in October. But, again, you can have one of the purposes of these videos is you can have high traffic, but it's not going to convert. If you're showing up for good colors to paint my fence or good materials to build my fence from, and someone is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, what good did it do you? Yes, you had traffic to your website. Your search engine optimization company came through with their promises to build traffic to your website. But it was no good. You want traffic that has keywords that are going to help you get found by local customers and make your phone ring. You want discovery keywords. All right, let's go one more here. Like this website, but I don't like that it's not secured, and Google makes a big deal out of things like that. I also had a thought, and it proved to be true. This was a very slow loading website, although this is a beautiful picture. This is really a photograph of some fence of a gate that this company did. Outstanding. But they need to pay a little more for their hosting. They need to get a secured website. They need to, when I did, let's take a look at this, custom fence fabrication, Katy, Texas. I like that. They're probably showing up for some fence keywords. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the speed of the website. Fence, Katy, Texas. Yes, sir. Wrought iron fence, Katy, Texas. And Maverick fence. And custom fence, Katy, Texas. And probably some other words. Let's see. Maverick fence, Katy, Texas. Let's see if they're showing up for anything else here. Custom fence, Katy, Texas. Katy Fence Contractors. They're number 9. They could probably go up a little bit on that. Fence Company, Katy, Texas, number 5. They could go up on that if they would speed up their website. And here's a good website to check out, GT Matrix. Type in on any search engine website speed, and you'll find, and then plug in your website, and it'll give you a test. And it doesn't have to be an A, but it doesn't. You can't have it being an F. That's the problem. If this was a high C, if this was loading even into 4 to 5 second range, as far as some of these bigger pictures go, these people would do a lot better in the search engines. Google is not going to raise you up in search engines because you have a slow website. 60 to 70% of all your traffic is coming from smartphones, so it has to load fast. Foreshore Fence Builder. Okay, I like that name. It's it's just different. And again, you need to have a branded name that's going to be different. They have great reviews, but they do have a big problem. Fence installation, foreshore. Again, I see a phone number that would kind of give away if they're in the Houston area. There's nothing in the title tag about their location. And that's key. That's the number one thing all of y'all can do. If you can't get anything out of this website, you can put your title, your number one search term, fence builder, and the city you're actually in, Katy, Texas. Now, this guy may be down here. He may be in Houston. Let's see. I don't think it's even on this website. I think I've already done this. So he hasn't changed his website since 2017. He needs to make a change. His map's not loading right anymore. Things have, gotten outdated. The words on the page or the lines, things like that. They do something here that's kind of a redirect or something to this pricing tool. And I think it's hurting your website, because when I went to do, if I went to SEMrush and looked at their website, their traffic has tanked to zero. And, they may not be, well, looking at those reviews, they're still in business. So if I go back here to the Google reviews and just check out anything recent, I mean, that's within 2 months. They should be doing better than this. They've got to change that website out. It's killing them. Even if they got one extra job a month by changing their website out, profit $2,000, $3,000 profit off of even a minuscule website fence. You got to spend some money on your website. Now, this company coming up here has me scratching my head. They're actually, when I clicked on that, I can see right here, this is 3 different fence companies. So they're listed under Atlas Fence, Western Fence, and Southwestern Fence. They're doing a lot of pay-per-click advertising in the Houston area. And so you're going to see Western Fence Company. If you look at the website, it's got green sky on it. They don't have an address on them. That's what made me, they don't have a complete address. That's what made me start wondering who this was. And I kept digging. And, they get some traffic. Western Fence for the brand name. West Houston Fence Company. Hey, that's better than that last website we were just at. But they also run under another name, Atlas Fence. And you can tell it's all the same people. I mean, it didn't take me long. That does have their street address. And I'm thinking they ran under a third name on down here. Southwestern Fence Company. So I'm kind of, folks, you need to concentrate on your brand name. They get their mail at one street address right there, but their plant entrance is around the corner at that office I was showing you. This would make me very highly skeptical. Plus, they didn't have each but 3 reviews, and they may do a lot of work, but they could do themselves better by being this is an area where the word transparent really has true meaning. It looks to me, if you go down here, boom, 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 and you look around the corner, there's Atlas Fence and Western and Southwestern. They need to be more transparent about it, put it under one thing, and give the consumer a little more trust in their thing. So anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Discovery keywords for fence contractors. If you're looking for a digital marketing company, I have the background to make your phone ring. I know what kind of keywords to build these websites for. I do that. I do your Google My Business listing. I also manage your pay-per-click listing. I've managed contractors that spend as much as $50,000 a month. But I have some very reasonable rates for smaller mom and pop owned fence contractors throughout the country, Houston, Texas, or otherwise. I have a fence contractor already, so if you're in his backyard, I can't do you, but we'll talk about that if you call. And if you have any questions about how to update your website or keywords to run your ads under, give me a call. I'll be glad to walk you through some of this. I hate to see you waste your ad spend over things that I could have corrected and make your phone ring. So again, my name's Bob Rutledge, 251-241-9111. I am located in South Alabama, literally across the street from me. They grow corn and peanuts, but 10 miles, 15 miles down the road is a beautiful sandy white beach. And so our overhead is low. And if you are advertising using a digital marketing company in New York or California, you are throwing away 50% of your money. First of all, you're giving it to people that probably don't have the same values that you do. And I probably do. Go to my website, micromanagemedia.com. You'll see some of the things I have listed on there kind of speaks to my personal background as well. I've been doing websites now, designing websites and doing pay-per-click marketing since before there was a Google. And I'll be glad to help you out. Just give us a call.